Jerry, you're on the pink couch.
I'm on the pink couch. I have to watch I Don't Lie Down.
I'd say you'd like to be on stage though.
Yeah, well, I love being on stage. Yeah, I'm on stage since I was 17 or so, so it's a long, long time. You know, I won't say how long, but it's a very long time.
And have you missed the energy of the audience? Because that's what you're such a showman. That's what you feed off.
It is, and it's become more and more. It's a very addictive thing to do, you know, perform. But it's become more and more. I'm realizing actually what I do is kind of lift people's spirits and make people feel better, and that makes me feel better, you know. So it's a kind of a, yeah, I guess even the songs are a lot of my songs are quite philosophical. So people leave with having gone through, like watching a movie, they've gone through every emotion, you know. They've kind of laughed and cried
and dance and sway.
Yeah.
How have you been surviving as a musician? Like, you've had it. You were the first to go. From you can say you're going to be the last back.
I think if you're a musician or if you're a troubadour, vagabond in any way, you know, you've got to look after your mental health, and you've got to know it's a gypsy trade. Do you know what I mean? There's no security in being a musician. There never really has been, you know. So we do have a survival instinct and little techniques, and mine is just to drop out. So I just took the time off, you know, painted my house like the whole world, you know, kind of like you know, trying to secure paint. They were running out of paint in the hardware shop, you know. Painted my house, which badly needed a paint, you know. But back with An Emotional Fish, you know, when I was kind of thrust into kind of stardom, if you like, as a rock star with a big record deal and stuff, I was a little uncomfortable. I didn't really know where to put myself. You know, it was a kind of I realised fame wasn't really what I was interested in. It was music and being part of that rock and roll fraternity, you know, with people like Iggy Pop and
it must have been a great time to be in a rock band.
It was the 90s. Yeah, I think it was a fabulous time to be, you know. I mean, we had the grunge thing happening in America, and then the dance thing, or the Happy Mondays, the mix happening in the UK. So you had these two worlds, which obviously from Ireland, you were kind of in the middle of them. So there was a lot of great music being made, and also you had all your idols were still around. You know, Iggy Pop was still touring, the Ramones were still touring, the Cramps were still touring, the Pogues in their heyday, you know.
And when you went from Emotional Fish to going solo, like, was that a hard decision, or was it time, or does everything have its time, or?
I dropped out of music initially for quite a long time, you know, and lost interest, because the industry, I guess, you know, I wasn't the first, but I was kind of fairly damaged by, you know, ended up in court with a record label, and it was just, you know, ridiculous.
So there wasn't fun in it anymore.
Yeah, I guess the thrill had gone. Yeah. So I kind of thought, no, back to normal life. I got into old vintage motorcycles and kind of, I don't know where the time went, but and then I got back when I met Nikki and my first daughter was born, basically, because I just felt I wanted to just not be. I guess I had not be coming home from a job I didn't like. Do you know? And I had a real graw for making music again. I felt I hadn't finished.
That there was another stage.
Because we didn't break up. An Emotional Fish was quite peculiar. We didn't break up as such. We just kind of dissolved or fell apart. So, you know, it wasn't that we had a big falling out. It was just the industry around us kind of swallowed us up. And I know so many people that's happened to.
And you've played with some great Kilkenny musicians. As you said, you're living near Kilkenny.
Yes.
And Jeremy Hickey, wasn't you?
Jeremy Hickey, who I'm a massive fan of. Before I even moved out this direction, RSAG. So Jeremy is like, I don't think there is an artist.
Another Jeremy.
No, there is only one, and it's so unique. And seeing him do, I know Paul Mahan did a lot of the backdrops and the they're a great collaborative of visual and just one guy on a drum kit singing, and he's just so much energy.
Yeah.
And we've become good friends, obviously, but he joined the band as well. We played together for like probably about 5 years, you know.
So you would have done the electric picnic circuit.
Done the
and all that.
picnic a lot, yeah.
Did you miss the picnic this year?
I've missed, but now this is the second year, so it's I try not to dwell on things, but really, yeah, my heart is broken, of course, you know, yeah. But I think, you know, I guess you have to put it into perspective. My parents have survived the pandemic, you know. Some I know have friends and their parents didn't survive, so you know, everybody's a little shook. So you know, it's one step at a time. I do think it's time to open up. I've no doubt about that. We're kind of all vaccinated.
Yeah.
I'm not a religious person, but I do strongly believe that song and dance are original prayer. That's how we communicate with nature and, you know, all our inner feelings. So I think making dancing illegal is just, I just cannot.
Well, it's good for the soul, and your music is.
Well, I kind of get up there, go
the
breaking the law, you know. 'Cause you know.
You get to dance on
so
stage.
Viva the revolution, yeah. I don't know if I'm exempt or what the story is, but I don't mind breaking the law a little bit, to be honest. You know, it's just, we need to snap out of all that. That it's almost offensive to our joy. You know, we need to kind of express joy, give joy, and receive joy. You know.
And a new album coming out?
I'm working on a record. I actually had a listen to it yesterday. I went through a lot of tracks, and I think I've even got a title for it. So yeah, I'll be finishing that as well in October, hopefully. Jerry. I'll be finishing it in October. When you'll see it,
yeah. Jerry, here's to you coming to the set to a full house.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that very much.
We all want it back.
We do.
Yeah. All right, thank you so
much. Thank you, Siobhan. Thank you.